Good morning everyone, it's Libby from Maighstir Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you, your spirit guides and my spirit guides along with us today. So welcome. Yes, hello Maighstir and Nareen, or Nareen and Maighstir. It's fabulous to have you. Please guide my messages for me today. And please let me know quite firmly if I get something wrong, because what I want to do first of all is I want to apologise to the people of Sweden. I read last week that the left would win by the narrowest of margins due to negotiations with other parties. News came out last night that the right was managed to be successful in those negotiations, and now is the government in Sweden. Now, yesterday when I mentioned Sweden, Maighstir did give me a download, and he did, when I remember it, he did say check, and I didn't. So I do apologise for the people of Sweden. However, I do want to have a quick look, because it is the narrowest of margins, 176 to 173. Literally two negotiated seats have made the difference between who is in government and who isn't. Out of, what's that, 340, nearly 350 seats, it is literally two that have formed the government. And what does happen, and has happened in Australia, is that those that have negotiated to a particular party find that what they feel that they're not getting what they had agreed upon, then their negotiation is not being honoured, and they either cross the floor to the other party or they become independent. So I just want to have a look to see whether this right-leaning party is going to last the 5-year election cycle or not, and what is going to happen in the meantime if it isn't. So we'll just have a quick look. Okay. Good morning, Maighstir. Good morning, Nareen. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please? Thank you. Will the right party of Sweden last the 5-year election cycle? Will the right party of Sweden last the 5-year election cycle? Well, that's a no. Will some of the elected reps either cross the floor or become independents? Will they cross the floor or become independents? Some of the elected reps cross the floor or become independents. Well, that's a yes. So will it happen within 2 years? Will this happen within 2 years? Will this happen within 2 years? That's a no. Will it happen within 3 years? Will this happen within 3 years? No. Will this change of government or independence happen within 4 years? So yes. So I'll keep an eye on that. Sorry, Sweden, but there is going to be dissension in the ranks. It looks like towards the end of the election or the government cycle that there will be disillusionment and some will leave, but 4 years? Well, that's long enough for them to really show their true colours. Okay, where do I go next? I want to have a quick look. So we've been concentrating on the US a fair bit, and I still have a list of US things to look at. But I wanted to have a look at Hungary and Serbia. So what's happened in Hungary in the last few days is that the government has brought forward a bill, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, to tighten abortion rights. They're sort of following the right of the US, and birth control rights. Oh, I've got my cards upside literally upside down, following tightening birth control ability for women. Now, I have seen that once Putin's gone and Ukraine making fabulous advancements, hopefully they won't incur into Russian territory, because that's dangerous ground. But I have seen Crimea and Belarus becoming independent once Putin is gone, which is so imminent. I know there's footage of him in the Far East, apparently talking to Xi Jinping and at the War Games, etc. Well, we'll just have a quick look while that's on my mind. I keep seeing that that's a body double, but I'll just ask anyhow. I mean, one minute you've got footage of him barely able to control his limbs, sitting down in a classroom, and the next you've got him supposedly leaping around at a war games, which is very unlikely. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? Thank you. Is the Putin, in brackets, in the Far East, a body double? And that's definitely a yes. Is Putin still in Moscow? Now I'll ask, is the real Putin in the East? And that's a no. So it is a body, yeah. I keep saying it every time. Okay. So I want to have a look at Hungary, because I think once Belarus and Crimea become independent again, Hungary will be rethinking its position again. I know the elections weren't that long ago. And I did read on the Hungary elections. There was a lot of deviousness going on there, of busing people around from one area to another, because apparently you can vote in any area, in any, I don't quite know what you call it, segment, state or whatever, of Hungary for the president or prime minister or whatever he is, dictator for life. You can vote in any area, but he has to win a certain number of areas. So they were actually busing people around to ensure that he got majority vote in enough areas to... It was just odd. It was very, very odd. Okay, just tell me about Hungary and this birth control. Hungary and this birth control bill tightening. What's going to happen? Thank you, Maighstir. These cards on the bottom are wanting to absolutely come off. I'll just take these ones off the bottom. They just did not want to go back in, and then we'll go through them. Okay. What was on the top there? It's almost like I'm doing the opposite of what I normally do. Let's have a look. Okay. So these were the cards. They were in a lump on the bottom, and they just would not go back down into the pack. The Tower card. Not quite sure what that means for us, but it is sitting next to this devil energy. So I'm thinking that these women's rights are going to be destroyed in Hungary due to this power, this addiction to power, wanting to control, just nefarious evil. It is a crossroads moment. No, it's not. It's the Three of Wands. This is a plan they have that's coming to fruition. It's a plan they've had for a while coming to fruition. However, there is hope. There is hope of this battle of good versus evil, of restoration and respite. Okay. I might do a clarifier on this one because it's the odd one out in this reading. There is hope. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Maighstir. He says just read the cards as they are, don't clarify, because the next one is this ship burning. And what it is this, I believe, is once, I can't even think of the name of the president, Eurowon, something like that. The Prime Minister of Hungary, once Putin is gone, his ship will be burnt, he'll be held to account. There will be this day of reckoning. The Seven of Wands. This is about defending oneself and fighting back. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is a new emotional beginning. So I think what's happening is this is a plan that's been brought about by this devil energy that is really going to be quite destructive. Now, however, with the Tower card, just be aware that things are destroyed so that they can be built back better. But it is very destructive. And I'm just... If you look very... I don't know if it'll show up on my poor quality camera. If you look at the bottom, it's just skulls and swords and armour and just real... just death and destruction, basically, that's being brought about by this devil energy. Okay, thank you. I'm just again drawn to the imagery on this card. You've got this devil up the top, sort of going, shh, don't tell, shh, be quiet, as you've got the investigator at the bottom trying to follow this trail, trying to find this path, trying to find the information on this, of what happened on this battlefield, because there are bodies on this battlefield as well. Looking, this person down here is just trying to work out what the hell happened. And you've got this up here going with his two fire nymphs, if you like to call them, on his arm, and he's just going, shh, don't tell. So it is a plan come to fruition. However, have hope, because there will be this moment of reckoning where literally lightning will strike for the people of Hungary, and this plan will be downcast by this energy, and it is a new beginning. Okay, so I'm thinking, yes, it is going to go through, but times will change. Then I want to have a look at Serbia, because the government there, they were going to hold a pride parade in Serbia. Haven't read a lot on either of these two subjects, as you can obviously tell, but I'm going in cold with the cards here. All I know is that there was a pride parade organised in Serbia, and the government cancelled it at the last minute. I don't know why I'm drawn to read the tripping weight card. So obviously, not only is it an anti-women in Hungary at the moment, don't underestimate the women and the youth folk, guys, which they do time, and the right conservatives, the patriarchal right, they do it time and again, underestimate the women and the youth. Disappointed in Sweden. Thought they were, well, they are better than that, I know that. There was a lot of, okay, thank you. I was going to say misinformation, but I've been told disinformation instead, and it was about the, a lot of disinformation about immigrants coming in. So, I think, yeah, sorry, Sweden. Okay, put Sweden aside, Serbia. So, at the last minute, they had their, packing up the truth and moving on. I think it's going to still happen going down the track. But tell me what's behind, what's happening, what's going forward. Okay, slow and steady progress forward. Don't be too disheartened. But yes, this pride parade was cancelled at the last minute. Tell me, please, Master. Tell me, Maighstir, what's going on in Serbia. Serbia. Thank you. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Swords. Feminine energy, which is really interesting. Oh, the truth. Of course it is. Sorry. The feminine energy bringing forward the truth. Now, the truth is for those that are of LGBTQI gender is that it's the same as left-handed around the 1st of the century. I believe in sort of 1903, only 3% of people, less than 3% of people, identified as left-handed because it was considered the work of the devil and you had it beaten out of you by the nuns at school and etc., etc. But by the 1970s, around 12% of people identified as left-handed, and it has remained at 12% ever since then. So regardless of what beliefs are, no, they're not taking over the world. No, they're not. People aren't being converted to LGBTQI. It's just that they've been in hiding, for want of a better way to put it. But there is a natural percentage of the population, even in wildlife. There is a natural percent of the population that is not directly heterosexual, and the truth is that there is a natural percentage, and we can't deny it. So this is what this card is about the truth of gender diversity. Currently crossed, well, I'm not surprised, currently crossed by sandpit petty arguing. Literally, sandpit petty arguing. This is the only card in the Rider-Waite decks that shows teenagers. Otherwise, it's always adults or young children. And if you think back to early high school bullying and politicking and bitching and that's the energy that it's been crossed with at the moment in Serbia. Base of the reading, the High Priestess. This is about getting in touch with your spirituality. And also a hidden agenda that's not been revealed. But the first thing that came to mind was the spirituality. As we become more spiritual, we will become more accepting of this diversity. Those that preach that they are Christian and followers of the Bible, etc., but deny those who are of gender diversity are not true spiritually. They're not connected spiritually. They are listening to the patriarchal. So this is about, as we become more spiritual, it will become more acceptable. There is also a hidden agenda here, though, so I want to find out what that is. In the past, betrayal, sabotage, this is cancelling of the Pride Parade. But this is just stealing the truth. Like, cancelling the Pride Parade and then taking up all the truth and just being all smug merchant about it. And but people are walking away in despair and in disbelief at that they had believed in this. They had followed this figure, and then they've been betrayed by it. Okay, let's see where this leads. Crowning the reading, celebration, unity, coming together. It's a message. This is a message about coming together and celebrating diversity. Crowning the reading. Okay. Immediate future, the Empress. She is about a new beginning. she brings about abundance and a new beginning, and I'm really my hair is tingling in regards to this, and I'm just feeling like it's a new beginning and acceptance of love. Okay, I hope that's not just me putting my... Oh, I just noticed the cushion down here with the feminine energy, the cushion in the shape of the heart. Yeah, it is again, it is this feminine energy. It is this feminine energy, that will bring about honesty and change. Honesty with acceptance and who we are, and that we are diverse and we all are loved. So yes, a new beginning. Externally, Knight of Wands, a masculine energy about an aggressive message being brought forward. Externally, internally, again a new beginning, stepping out in faith and courage. Second meaning is the foolishness of this aggressive masculinity, just the foolishness of this playground bickering, this bullying, this the foolishness of it, but very much also about stepping forward. So internally, those within Serbia need to step forward if it is safe for them to do so. For your friends that are of a diverse gender, surround them with love, support them, stand by them. The more of us that are, I'll say straight up and down because I am, the more of us that stand beside our friends of diverse gender, the more powerful they become, and the more support they have. Okay, hopes and fears. Intergenerational money. That's interesting. An intergenerational concept. Okay. What I've got here. If you have, when I look at the card, sometimes I get confused because I read on the US so much that this is my oligarch and Trump organization card. But when you have a look at the image on this card, you've got this figure in the foreground, this old fuddy-duddy sitting there, looking as grumpy as can be, holding on to his shaft, his walking stick, whatever you like to call it. But in the background, through this arch, we have the youth talking and the youth coming together. So it is a hope of a passing. So that we've got these, I'm just looking at this as well, we've got these dogs at the grumpy old dude's feet, the grumpy old patriarch's feet, the loyalty. So there is a lot of loyalty to this anti-diversity, old way of looking at things. However, I am very much drawn to the archway that has the two youths and the very young child there as well, which is all about passing through the arch to the future. So I do have hope, but it comes down to surrounding your friends. Okay. It is the youth that are going to bring forward the message of truth. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy battle. I don't understand why it has to be so difficult, because it is just about accepting people for who they are, and that that you can love whomever you love. But it is going to be difficult. It's not going. Change is not going to happen quickly, but yes, thank you. This is very much about an ending of a cycle, a beginning of a new cycle, but the most important message it's bringing forward for me here is about unity of diversity. At the moment, there is this delusion. I'm looking at the base of the pack. The energies right now is this delusion. It's about power. It's about control. But that is ending. Thank you. It is ending. The lies, the stealing, the deceit, that's all ending. So, yeah, thank you. However, as I often say, it won't happen overnight, but it will happen. It won't happen overnight, it will happen. But rest assured, there is movement forward for those of Serbia. So I'm really pleased. After the world we had, the lot of work having to go on behind the scenes. A lot of work, but we do then have the celebration card coming together in celebration. So don't be disheartened. Don't let it get you down. Regroup and go and support those who are affected by this. And change will come. Not soon enough. Okay, what I want to have a look at, I've got a few little things. I'm not going to have a look at Mike Landell with his phone being seized. Bo of the fifth column has quite a good little snippet on that. I'll put it roundly for you. There is so much information coming out because we had the other two phones seized last week. Trump's lawyer and Trump's campaign strategist. I'm really, when it comes to the US, in regards to all this that's been going on, I'm quite happy to let it lay and let it play out because it is going to play out. So what I want to have a look at is, look, we might go and have a look. Rebecca Jones. So, in Florida, Rebecca Jones won her primary to stand as the Democratic candidate against Matt Gaetz, who's the current rep. Is it in the... So, DeSantis is the governor. So, Matt Gaetz is the Congress representative or House representative. He might be the House representative. I'm not... Anyhow, I don't care. Matt Gaetz needs to go. So anyhow, Rebecca Jones was... she was a COVID scientist who worked for the Florida government, state government, and she was... she spoke up against what DeSantis was trying to say about COVID. I mean, we know DeSantis was in total denial. Oh, COVID, it's just a mere cold, it'll be fine. I can't, what they have, 45,000 plus 50,000 who died of COVID, and that's not to say how many have now suffering from long COVID and how many have had their health severely compromised by COVID, loss of income, loss of loved ones, just all sorts of ghastly things. So she stood up against DeSantis's blurb about COVID, and she was fired for what she was saying. So she's now a very intelligent woman, very articulate. She has won the Democratic nomination for the House seat. Yes, it is House, thank you, to run against Matt Gaetz. So I'm going to draw a couple of cards either side, just a couple of cards. So in the midterms. Okay, while I was talking, this flung out. And this is very much about walking away from what's no longer serving you, walking towards a new future, walking up these stairs here towards a brighter light, a new future. So I'm just going to ask, so is that Florida? Okay. Tell me how Matt Gaetz will go. I'll just draw a signifier and a couple of cards. Matt Gaetz in the Florida House election midterms. Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz. Nasty piece of work. Okay, let's see. What do we get for Matt Gaetz? Justice. Do I need to go any further? He's caught up. Is it Greenman or Greenberg or something? He's caught up in a sex trafficking court case and all sorts of nasty. This is also about actions and consequences. Ooh, Russia. defeat and full illumination. Well, thank you. Couldn't have picked any better. So that's what I've got for Matt Gates. Let's see what I get for Rebecca Jones for the midterms. Okay, well, and then I'll have a quick look because it may, let's have a look. Tell me about Rebecca Jones, house, Florida. Rebecca Jones, house, Florida. Rebecca Jones, house, Florida. Page of Cups. Okay, a bombshell coming out, something unexpected. Rebecca Jones, house, Florida. Rebecca Jones, house, Florida. Thank you. Slow, steady progress forward. Oh, I really like this contrast, don't you? Okay, slow, steady progress forward. Biden administration. King of Swords. Powerful masculine truth energy here. We'll just triple check with pendulum, but I do like those cards. Okay, just bring pendulum up slightly. Just bring you up slightly. Okay. May I ask a question, please? I'll just bring them down a bit so you can actually see. I'm just going over Matt Gates's cards here. Hang on, I'll just get organised. I'll get organised. Okay, hold still. Right. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? Thank you. Will Matt Gaetz win the Florida election? Will Matt Gaetz win the Florida election? Will Matt Gaetz win the Florida midterms? Will Matt Gaetz win the Florida midterms? Well, that's a very definite no. When I said election, it was confused. It was sort of circling around and halfway between. But when I changed it to the midterms, that's a definite no. Okay. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? With the energies of today, will Rebecca Jones win the Florida midterms? Will Rebecca, no, not even, okay, thank you. He's telling me take out the energies of today. Will Rebecca Jones win the Florida midterms? And that's a yes. Okay, but I want to go back to these cards because I just want to ask a question. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please, Master? Naren, may I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please? Thank you. Will Matt Gaetz be taken out before the midterms? Coming up soon. What are we? Less than two months. Will Matt Gaetz be taken out of the midterms? Will get Matt Gaetz no longer run in the midterms for any reason? How do I word this? Will Matt Gaetz face justice before the midterms? Will Matt Gaetz face justice before the midterms? I'm just getting a circling. Will Matt Gaetz face justice after the midterms? Will Matt Gaetz be brought to justice for whatever reason after the midterms? Okay, so that's a yes. Okay, well, let's see how it plays. It's going to be interesting. What am I looking at? 34 minutes. My sneak one more in for you, as I'm sure you're used to my 40 odd minutes worth. What am I going to have a look at? The Fox News Dominion. Oh gosh, that's not coming up till April next year. That's forever away. However, might have a quick look. Oh, Pakistan. My heart goes out to Pakistan. Apparently with the floods over there, dengue fever is just absolutely exploding. I might just have another look. I did read the other day, I'm getting cards lined up here everywhere. I did read the other day that they won't get terribly much more, the flooding will ease, but they've got a lot of stagnant water sitting. So I'll just have a quick look at Pakistan. And then I might have the quickest of glances at the Fox News Dominion case. Oh, April 23 is a long way off for the cards to reach to. Pakistan, please. Strength and love to Pakistan. Pakistan. Just give me a what's happening over there at the moment. Just destruction. A lot of devastation and destruction and death. Okay. Let's see where it leads us. Okay. He's telling me to stop shuffling. It's a breaking down of a lot of the infrastructure there is absolutely atrocious. I did see India coming to help, and that will improve relations between the two countries. They've been fighting for forever, just about, over a little strip of land called Kashmir between the two. But yeah, destruction, loss, disappointment, flooding, loss of life. This is when I'm thinking about this dengue fever. Okay. Foundation. The Lovers, which is usually signifying working together, coming together. So there is going to be these contracts and agreements and coming together. But I'm also really drawn in this card, and I have another one. I think it's in my Gilded Tarot deck, of the female being basically a spiritual figure. So there is going to be a lot of loss of partnerships, as in family partnerships, group partnerships. But there is also going to be, but rest assured, this angelic figure is looking over and protecting. But there will also be some, I'm not getting help on the way, I'm just getting this passing. A lot of life passing. In the past, I've drawn to the water in that. There were plans that came to fruition. Okay, thank you. Maighstir's telling me it's about the plans that were in place were insufficient in the face of the water. And we do know that now. The infrastructure. Big failures in infrastructure. We know that now. Crowning. The Wheel of Fortune. So things will change. At the moment it's really down. They will come back up again. The wheel is about changing of destiny, a changing of fate, of those that are down coming up and those that are up coming down. Immediate future. 9. New boundaries having to be set. New plans having to be made. New guidelines having to be put in place in this new future that we have. And I'm really drawn to this figure. He looks like the Hermit, contemplating these new plans. Everything's just gone straight out the window, and they're having to, this hermit type figure is having to set up this new plan. Okay, these new boundaries. Externally, King of Pentacles. Money, it's going to take a lot of money, but the King of Pentacles, he's a mentor who is about protection for his people and financial wealth. So this is externally. There is a strength. I don't know who the leader is over there, but there is this strong leader who is going to come forward, or has already come forward, to make the right decisions for the people of Pakistan. Internally, new beginning. This is a new beginning for the country. So whether out of this situation, okay, thank you, because this is the future here, out of this situation is going to come this new powerful masculine energy leader, but he is about protection and teaching and health. So it is going to be this new financial beginning, new health beginning for Pakistan internally. Hopes and fears at the moment, it's just anguish. There's a lot of anguish. Outcome, Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, celebration, coming together to celebrate. A fulfilling of a wish. Okay, this is the benevolent merchant. So I think what's happening is the communities are coming together and helping each other, and there is going to be this assistance come forward. Packing up the sword of truth and moving on to quieter waters, moving towards this new sunrise. And I think that's the direction Pakistan is going to have. They're going to be looking very carefully at what their past has brought them to. There is this significant change coming forward, and I think what's happening is there's going to be getting together and at the table under the eye of this benevolent, emotional getting together at the table. And then we have the intellect, so it's emotional as intellect, packing up these swords of truth and heading towards a new horizon, a new sunrise. Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands. Yeah, Ten of Wands. I'm just looking at it going, is it Wands or Pentacles? No, it's very definitely Wands. This is the Ten of Wands. He's setting new roots in the ground. He's setting a new foundation. So this is the ending of a cycle, and a new foundation is being set for Pakistan in the wake of this. There is going to be, again, new foundations, hard work, new foundations, a crossroad, but this Chariot energy moving forward quickly. Once it happens, taking the reins, it's going to be chaotic for a while, but it is very strong movement forward. I'm actually drawn to the feminine energy in this as well. And this as well, it is about masculine and feminine working together as they reach this crossroads. So it is a tower moment for Pakistan, these floods. The flooding will ease, but there's going to be this awful loss. But spiritual strength, partnership and spiritual strength. But I think what's going to happen is it's, again, a new beginning for how Pakistan does things, and how I'm getting India, how Pakistan interacts with India. And it is the beginning of a new era in strength for Pakistan. Okay, so that's taken me out to the nearly 45 minutes, so I shall leave it there. I'll have a look at Dominion and Fox down the track, probably in the new year. It's a little bit too early soon. Sorry, Sweden. I should have looked again yesterday so it didn't catch you by shock. It caught me by surprise. So all I can do is learn the lesson. We are on this earth to learn our lessons, and we need to be open to when the lessons are taught to us, and we need to acknowledge them. We need to acknowledge that we may have failed in a lesson, and then take it forward with us. So thank you, Maighstir, on that behalf for teaching me that lesson. I shall listen more carefully in the future. Covered a lot of territory today. Any questions, put them in the box below. But thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.